Radio Link 89.1 FM Sunday Matiefo nyina che na ye bosimi duba kwa November ne da wato so du mfiempino wani adronom brason sensema hodo ye yensa kana no pe matena si nkenkan ne se Kaseɛ mamansan nyina nya bitie channel so www.radiolinkgh.com nsenya ndio be wani afro benya na fe watim akenkan de afiri ho aya ko Facebook nso hoso de akoso ofide ha nyina obetim ahwe Radio Link 891 YouTube Radio Link GH Hanso Ubenya Nwatim Ashe Righteous Radio Kutam wo eye Blue Cross Zagidi wo Aboso Ampusko Babrin Salon wo Kumase kwane so Black Avenue Kranza kwane so Agroba so Choba Bush Canteen wo Hensha Sheye dia Sheye abna doctor Total Falling Station yo Kumase kwane so na fei dia owo Kumase Station ba bia dia tum Bamboo Pub wo Bamre kwane so ba bia ni kuha ababusiafo bo hono banya bi ya betie Gabi Stone Electricals wo hensa eno tachiwa wo twimia nkwanta sanso ne okọ hensa kromu a voice center Kaseɛ baako ba bia ni kuha ababusiafo banya bi ya betie ano pensamande oba no de otim akotene binin Ghana Health Service mpanyifo ba ya nhwemu bi ni ba dia ba betudwa se nose mask ya na se nkrofo Besha ni bade boba ho ba ne free covid ho no nei so ati abafam pa ama bebo amane se wanhwe ya lockdown obesa na ba wa mani Ghana ha sei ne owura kwadwo ponkuruma information minister dia tudwa so anya no kore se amanyofo ba ne ba ma covid-19 ahwiri ya wo kwa nimu Ghana card ya Ghana mpanyfo tonsa na fe bekwa ye no nei Dr. Alachi Mahmoud Bawumia apa dwumade bi ho ntoma sonkoso no de atudwa se Ghana card nei wo ba besha National Health Insurance Scheme be card nananim one district one factory amanebo ya oba chese anya bian adwuma babro eye 130,000 ni odia ba mabunu banya bi ya beye wei ona ofro bi ni matena sia no pai ndi obrawo dini de anje so ye oba pa efia aboachewa
.1
Afe me concern ankasam Ghana Health Service mpanyimfo abadebana to form na afe so ba nante mane Ghana ne ntokro biam ayenhwemu bi na ababetodwa se not max se ya ne nkakrofo bade boba no na afe bade boba ho ba ne firi se bia wa hom ni bi so hom ni ebe covid-19 ni bia wonti ma wo so ntantanta manasa wonsan kano ne swati aba form mpanyimfo atra se wo free August bosimi na bapim October menhwemu ya ba ya no ababetodwa se oh ha chichemu ba se adosumi 72% ni nei atim ate de afri eye nose mask no ne hye ya wo se amam 14 hye no ne so ne mpanyimfo che se oyi nipa ba se dumwotwe ya ne nkada kro bia banya bi wo ya maniga na ha se na se 18% no ne ahuri de kwaje 72% ya ne nipa no banya bi no kwa ne akosoro ne mpanyimfo che se nhwemu na ba ya no nyesa bia nkrampuni mantam nkwane betena ye ba fa mantam ahodo de kan ho ne se no o city kono ne ahwania first ne nkaja 44% be se no smas ne 10% pe ne ba sha mani ganam wa bra no mpanyimfo nya kwanya na fei ba cheche covid-19 ho sansam de ache ganafo ba bia ne ahwide wakwagina on de mpanyimfo ba ya de afa ho no Dr. Patrick Kuma Abwache ono ne Director General de Ghana Health Service ne wadi out Joseph sene ninka kane mansane betim bembe shebe no sumase ndibi wo akura wo nhye ne yesu beka na tima suasua na fenema akwa ni mu no nyesa ne otie sesie mani Ghana bedna 1156 cases 320 deaths na fe saka active cases no nei akwa ni papa ni da bia no o chese 398 na watwe biam cases ya bensa tinka oil positive no ni Dr. Patrick Kumabwaji say ni ochirem.
You can see that those wearing masks correctly moved from 44% in survey 3, when we hit the highest rate, to almost 10%. But in some areas, it was as low as 5%. But the average was 10%, but there were some significant areas that we had about 5% wearing of masks. Our problem as well had declined from 44.3% to 10%, and in some settings, 5%. Those not wearing masks at all had increased from 18% to 72%, which is a major worry. And these are all in Accra, which is where the epicenter of the focus is. However, there has been some moderate increase in people who are wearing the mask correctly. What it tells us is that people are learning how to wear the mask well, but people have also stopped wearing the mask. And so I believe that if you're able to get people to wear the mask, more people will be wearing it correctly, and that will lead to better results for us. With about 47,844, 97% recovery. Currently, our active case count is about 1,139. It's about 2.3% of the total case count. We have a critical case of about 15, a death of 320, and I must explain that since October there's been no recorded COVID-related deaths. The additional 10 were, as at the time we mentioned, it 310. You know, we need to update our data, confirm cause COVID death before we upload it, and so there's always a little time lag between death and reporting, and so 376 per million, still one of the highest, if not the highest in Africa.
Ntinne nkrofo ba ja no spas ne hye ama ya de no okosoro we ya de ohadwa pa ponansa so kura ma ne mpanyfo we ba ma ne se wan hwe yi a lockdown betim asena ba o mariga nam ne we kura de panyini Kaseɛ wanda infectious disease committee de ma aja Ghana service atnaye nim deputy secretary ya ono so oboa ma Ghana medical association bedwade akoso papa titles bayo no ochensa sese mpanyfo anhye ni no sma Ghana for banhye ne ba mo be ho ba ne a ene lockdown obeba ni nyina no Ghana medical association panyini pa na nkasa Dr. Frank Ankwabia wadi atudwa se obesra mpanyinfo benhwe ni sa disease infectious disease centers nya base okumase takrad na fetamare no benti nwie ni tan ne ba ya den se de wo sinyi ni hon de kwani mu na abo ho muyenu de bia de nka ne benya se de oba no double tempanyfo amaba ho anya hare nya se osanji ntene biema wanhwe ya benya ba bi mfa ne pa binim onto Ghana Medical Association panyini Dr. Frank Ankwabia.
As we are all aware, several countries in Europe and Americas are experiencing a second wave with a lot of devastation on this trail. We cannot afford to let our guard down. The GMA appeals to the National COVID-19 Trust Fund and other stakeholders to expedite action on the building of the infectious diseases centers in Kumasi, Tamale, and Takrady. Again, as a country, let us continue to invest and strengthen our laboratories, since COVID-19 exposed our laboratory system as one of the weakest links in the health sector.
Panyini pa ya wada Ghana Medical Association no Dr. Frank Ankwabia notice wakasa no baby a niema wakwane de wo srempanyfo saa tena ye disease infectious center usabene no benhwe ni bemie bien tan nya saa ne banwia ya de se de ogintene wankrofo ma ne so no oba ma ne Ghana ma obe ha atwene ne ni manfo bi ba trebadwene se amanyofo beka hu bi na man nei COVID-19 asane oba ma ne Ghana ma Eldru apem oni akire yi information minister Kwadwo Ponkroma de atudwa se da bi nya saa ne ase no wote na nya be no na mbe so amaya de ahwiridi akosoro ana atete se manfo bi ne be ka se ho wo hwe bia asoro gina na ene amanyofo be wura de Kaseɛ ya be ye bi akura be da ya friend pokuma be ko no ni nipa aboaden setam ya bi kura nya bi mfa be be ho otwinkrofo nkrofo hwansi gu nkrofo ba mpam ba be hera nso be hram we ya de aka ho bi na amaya de no okosoro no wachem de akira amansan nyina se dabi bebe dia data na ababonten so no onkyere se amanyofo badwumadie ya bedi ne akofo covid-19 aba ni sei no okiremu.
I'll speak to the issue of politicians. I've heard that argument that it must be the politicians. You know, in this country, every problem, let's blame it on the politicians. It must be the politicians because they are having activities and they're having walks, etc. And if CNN says it's a super spreader event at the White House, then we also use that expression that therefore there must be some super spreading events. Now, I'd like you to pay attention to two sets of data. One is the data of the national spread of this recent rise that we have had. If it is true, then it flows that you should be seeing a widespread in all of these regions where you are having all of these activities. Nice argument to make, especially when you want to take politicians on, but the data is not supporting that. Second, the data as was mined by the Public Health Department of the Ghana Health Service shows us that we're having a lot more issues in offices and workplaces where you have enclosed activity happening. It is a concentrated area, and that's why they are also drawing attention, which is why we are reiterating that call that people who operate, particularly workplaces and activities in enclosed areas, should take extra care. So I know it sounds sexy to want to take on the politicians, that they must be the cause, but the data is not backing that. We are not saying that politicians should just have a free-for-all party. No, I think even the president spoke about it last night. We should make it a point as politicians, where even there's a spontaneous gathering of people, we should make it a point to use it as a platform to do some COVID education, maybe even distribute some masks out there, and whatever we are saying, use it as an opportunity for public education and to urge compliance. That is a responsibility that all of us must have, including politicians. But the data does not necessarily support that supposition as at this point in time. And we encourage as much as possible that all of these large gatherings, as much as can be reduced, should be reduced. And currently the data does not support that narrative.
Kwajo ponkro mama na nso ho a owie no de to just say we de besra be ka tire bambo adwumakuo one mpanyifo a beda nwuma hodo no se benhwe se covid-19 safety protocol na survey ya babonten so say no smas nkrofo benhye no so osre se ne no mpanyifo hwe ne mra na kane no ho no smas no entry afensa ahoro dwumadie one se bi obowa ono odin se kokom be na de anase benki ka be ho mo mebre no mewe mentini so abasa babwa ama ya de ba bia ohwiri kono asane na chikura.
Last night, the president explained that though those who are studying the makeup of the virus are quite clear that the genetic makeup of the virus has not changed. The observation is that this spike at the end of October, which the data shows is in the Greater Accra region, or is mostly concentrated in the Greater Accra region, is grossly as a result of non-compliance with the preventive protocol of wearing the mask. And that is why His Excellency the President is reiterating that admonition to the people of Ghana that do well to wear the mask when you are leaving home. This morning we will reiterate a call to the security agencies and to the managers, particularly of enclosed places, to ensure that compliance with the wearing of masks at least is enforced. All of us as citizens have a responsibility to ensure that the other parts of it, where washing our hands, using of the hand sanitizer, we do it. But particular call goes out to the security agencies and
ne ya yekotie ye information minister no aso ye ofuase ye bi mra shebedani owura kwajo opon kroma Ghana ani esi kwane so ya wanchere kora no niema nyina baya abafo di amamansane ne ade ampanfo bese be kono abafo kwane so no ye Ghana card na fe national insurance card ya bedi obom na ye adwuma di aboa amatemamu ni bia okita bi no ne ho atim ahenhane no ne mpanfo abamane se Ghana card na financial insurance card no kra no ba ka boma woni sana ka se be pejam amna kosoro se ne obo star 929 hash ni odi okwo wani ma unhu se Ghana card on national insurance card ni nyina no ogufa akum ya utindi national insurance card no bebe di ye oniama opesa wodi ye bia wo renew o card no ana se wo renew unia bi die kra unhu se saa ni okwo we enhye so nkwan fo be bonda wuro se obabwa ama hohare aba wasa card mienu ni dwumadie ya obedi wo mane Ghana mu Ghana mampanyene abedeche Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia apa dwumadie bi ho ntoma kora no de ya na government digitization sa digitization dwumadie yi panfo chese obabwa papa the national health insurance for bena watch ye be isu a be di beda sonko amane Ghana nnom ni baby ano ne mampanyini anom national health insurance system pen for chese be ye ne abafo kwane so ya nei no be di asase se wo renew o card ni we ya kwanya sonko pen for chese oboa ama abafo adusuade na fei abafo afidie ya afidie kwanfo a aba be friend computer be di na dusuade aba ama mansane nyina betima sua binom amagana nso yatim anyini wom na fe ye ne amansane amaya kase a be chese be de babo bebra awie ne be hota no ye ne be atim asi akane Dr. Bomi a kire se sa hwense ye apayefo ba de to apono so a we chese ye nyini ye di okoya nim ye ntana titinim biem se bia wa kɔreni wo kadia na fe ne wo sɔre wa kɔto santene wo atena ye pim anase wo Ghana card no pese wo don sakoso anakwa bibi firi so na fe ne wo Ghana card fo batena ye nim free January mfempi no wani dunson yana na adadan kwa kufu ado anama mompanyfo me batena konwa so no mampanyina bade cheche se bada nema nyina di se pese bade abafo nema timba nem ane Ghana so ye nyini nya de bia ne be fa pepa ne afa pen ne de atoso ne atwere na mbom wabra mane no onyini ni wiase nyina onyini no awase ye nso ye tinyini bi no no be kana fourth industrial revolution nti sa nyini ni bi ni ne mane Ghana ye konnom ne Dr. Bomi a chese hwe akwaniasa ya mpanyfo bade be hu owurawuram ya ne bade nsakira ye oba wo economy ni man we dadi pefe se amane nkaye hawo ona de nteche ya befa no benso be hwe mane Ghana ne batim asua ne mane Ghana mpanyfo nyina ni da kwane se onkere kora ene verification di ma akatua die offer apomudini se bia wa kwa record so a NFA e bia wa kwa jinno inventory management system ni nyina obakwa abafu kwane so na nya fe no bakwa ne nkrata ene okọ hospital na fe be kwa ukade ni yenhu kwa benkum kwa nifa ni nyina obeye abafu no obasa obaboa ama Ghana bia ho atim ahenhana no wodwumadie ya obedim metro so di akomanim one district one factory oya hyehyɛ sonkwa nana adadan kwa kufuado one ne MPP bebo ahoda wuro de kire Ghana fo se beba bebedi ade a beboa ama na atim ampa beba ye mpanfo kire se ba sisi samfidi dwuma ne bebre wo mane Ghana m ya oboa ne amane boya mpanfo ba de abane se anya hwe no one district one factory no 76 factories ne se oho a oya adwuma ya ba wie kura ne ode atoja se ne no nyuma nko a one district one factory di aba ama nkrofonya bi ya ba ye ne 139,331 ne we ye edesonko bi a penfo chese aboa ama ne pese 18,811 batim anya direct jobs na fei 120,520 indirect jobs odi aba free July mfempinu woni adonim no dansanchofo nhemu ya NPP mnyekoni ye ya abagina industrialization atna yeni wabra na da kwafado ana mama mpanfo baaye dwumadie ya abagina wasatna yem no begina so din sentu dwa na oche sanse musei na akire se anya hwe kura no mfidi nyuma no ba se 232 factories no ogwakwa no so ya onkere kura mpanfo bebewie nyenti na nakomya ne nsem okafa 1D 1F adwuma odi aba no ho
na ohwe adwuma edi abma imebu a 139,331 jobs. 18,000 direct factories na afao 120 na kano indirect. O hwese na COVID ba ye factories itimi gina ho ne ye mask ye ataria doctors na ye nurses be hwe hospitals na be a omo hwe COVID fo a ye renum kan. Nya dodo na ye nya wo Ghana ha. Nti ne twa to ne se Ghana for dodo particularly mebun munjina painting na se dwumadie yi empeja na njina wo Ghana ha dwuma ya ye de dane Ghana economy no into an industrial economy ene na dwuma no ba dwuma ni jina ho na mebun titru mon type president Akufo-Addo achi na mon sign emano mfie nai sine be ya se dwumadie 236 factories nya ebetimi awie ni nya ye dwuma our district na de koso eba sene be ya so ye kuani na udua na utwa banchia na hu hia so de nya be kodwa so ama ne bo na tofom ye beto bi ni aye no cassava chips ye factories wo ho eba beto na aye no cassava chips factories were why bed body bed done into so be so any because I break but done into plantain chips and let me see shop be bosuminsia ti be ma ne bo no agina amaikua ti be ma mabu nkura no okokua mu a unsro o pebisa de akokua mu a bank de be ma and now pebisa de akokua mu a bank no ehwe say na sa agima akwa e begina wait me tria bank no nti hihye na president ko de ba na the factories ba na dane ye economy no into industrial economy na de ehuhia pa ma emebu e de fasopi ebeba o hwe wiasim hanyia aman a omutimi free ohia mu ai ne omonso omoma no tumpon a omwosika ni nyia o hwe a eyet omufa industrialization nti nyia mabu tichu ya tiny chia fina na eba no factories dudro na ebegina na ye adwuma ade mpontu sronko abra ma no de adwuma sronko abra ma
ono wachi no wodi otu just so wade ato Ghana fo nyina ni kankare mabunu se menhwe nyame ya adoma de zema da oto sonson no bensane mfamfie nan biem nka ani pipi amnyokwa mpanfo ya bagina na afena na dan kwakufo ado ne ho sane se ba ye krado se beba bebeboa amanyuma bebre atim aba ne amatemamfo nso ba setenam adiyi
Akufado eka se Ghana for to abama no a oba be see factories a bibia yedua ewo mambu ha no ye de bibi be ka ho te be ayen ton no raw na fe wo hwe wo free baby nema yedua ne ton wa broche to se cocoa ne gold ne nkenka wo timber ya nkasa yen hihya ye wo fe kua adwuma sei udua banchi na utwa banchi a na de banchi no raw no e de akodwa so udua bode o de ban na sei enti ese upia ni nya de kodwa so na ne bo no atofom because obia epia ni de abedwa so enti na ebu pe ne bo no be kofo na so timi eye factory na sa factory no etimi dane bode no bi eye no chips no betime si store be afebako ana bosominsia na ahwe Ghana ha ye de dollar ekra chips potato chips plantain chips ye crack free all over the world at the back of them. I am say what body wa ha, ye wo bayre wa ha, ye wo banchi wa ha. I bet the chips. And we don't know be here factories a bitimi e dis ejumedie amount. And in any so ade hu Kaseɛ Akufado de to Ghana for enim. Na oba ye nso no wanye ho akwadwo. We di ho adwuma pa na ye Kaseɛ. Nhyehyɛ bi ode ba ye friend no 1D 1F, 1 district 1 factory. A timi ama factory si koso de ding and I can say ye wo factories in kwa sa 1 district 1 factory hihye diaba 76 emu 28 eye foforo kra na 48 na aka no eye factories e wo hodida ebia na egu na ya hyemu kena ana se omatimi aban 1D 1 fi enya sika foforo omo de bi adwumanum omo de new production aka ho
ne ya yekotie ye nana akomia na Quarters Commission ya na Quarters Control Commission nada bede eye kwakam bia bahwe mudo no obayesa $3 million ba kwa question ne nyina ye kwakam bia bachi no wo terminal 3 ya Waterma Port September da no to sumie no wa fi yam ne mpanfo gina eye nsese ya Accra High Court de to banim na watwe ya wotwa ukwela na se benkwa na fe benkwa kwahye sadei ni bagina so ya behye no ne ohwe sa na ye kokeni ampanfo chese ba kwahye no ya mudo no ba 150 kilograms ne oye ade a ne ba chichire ne boaboa de ahye oye boto abezu se ne bia oye asichire botom ne ofi Brazil ton ya Trade Pass Ghana Limited ne mpanfo be boss so chire bese bani bakwa krasa ade ndi aba mani Ghana ne nka ba hwe ni nkwane se bade bekwa akọ Europe manim na afa de afa se akọ ye no batindi akọ ye mpanfo akọ china aya military range ya wanka mpuni mantamu munda se na fei be pa datu nse wom ya ba hye ni nyina ni weni de be hwe krasi nkura gu so se de oba ya obehye na obeye deku ni bi ontim kwankwa fa bibi wase ne wan fa mama ya adefoforo Environmental Protection Agency EPA na fe Ghana Standards Authority National Security Attorney General's Department na fe Registrar Diffree Incline High Court